Hi there, my name is Justin Ellerby, and I'm going to be taking you on an organizational study of the Curious Forge, which is a member-based arts and crafts type workshop located in Grass Valley, California. They're 3 years old, and they're currently in a 3,000 square foot workspace that accommodates media including metal, wood, textiles, electronics, glass, ceramics, and paint. We're looking here now at a 8-person pedal-powered bicycle that sort of embodies the whimsy and the pop art aesthetic of the Forge. So the Forge offers to its members 24/7 access to the workspace, a social venue. There are also workshops that are, depending on the workshop, open to either members or non-members, depending. And we can see that the board is made up strictly from elected from the membership. Facilitators are both professionals and non-professionals of those workshops can come from within or outside the membership, as of course can workshop attendees. And of course, everyone has a different value proposition and different function inside of the Forge. So key issue for them is whether this member-based orientation is still going to work for them in the future. They were only able to finally break even on their costs this year, and it was seems to have been because they were able to get a lot of non-member workshop attendees into their classes. The non-members don't get a discount on the courses, and so they actually turned over quite a bit of money. So is members based orientation sustainable? Well, if we look at the members hours log data that I got a hold of and crunching a little bit, you can see that there's actually fairly moderately high turnover. There's only a moderate correlation between how much members spend contributing to the Forge in terms of the 6 hours per month that is part of their membership versus how much they spend actually just making stuff in the Forge. And also 5 of the 11 top volunteers historically have quit by this point. So there seems to be a lot of flow, and the most importantly contributing members seem to exit at times. We can also see in the second graph there that if you rank all of the members by that blue line by the total amount that they've volunteered, then you also then compare each of those members' number of months that they've been active. You can see that there's not a really strong relationship either between how long people have been in the organization and how much they have contributed. There's some relationship, but it's definitely not one-to-one. So we have to ask ourselves, what do members actually want? Are they coming to the Forge because they really want to see belonging and social venue that comes out of a club sort of member-based orientation? And do they care about ownership, control, participation, and governance? And what are they willing to give? I mean, there's a question as to how high of cost they will bear to keep the Forge running mostly on member dues. They recently just decided to allocate the total cost for the organization and split them among the members. It's unseen yet whether that will actually work or if members will leave as those costs rise. And also with the so-called volunteer hours, required volunteer hours, it's unclear whether that is going to be sustainable for everyone, or whether they really are depending on a minority of super contributors. Competition in this space is in some ways um, not very strong in the sense that there's no other place you can go for the unique mix of offerings that the Forge has. Um, but there are certainly lots of other places to get arts instruction. The As If Studios on the top right there does have their own ceramic studio, which is a little bit more expensive to rent out space in than the Forge's own dedicated ceramic studio. But it is competitive out there. So I recommend that the Forge join its local arts council, tighten up its ship financially, um, and start strategic planning. They need to also tighten up their ship in terms of the information they have on their members, who's using what, how much, um, and they probably should hire an intern to gain additional organizational capacity so they can do some research among their membership, find out what the members want, sort of deduce that, um, and then finally repurpose the organization perhaps as these hubcaps are repurposed into lamps, um, and actually bring a proposal from the board to the members for discussion of sort of how to shift the orientation. Um, Certainly, that this might entail sort of reorganizing the existing member classes and allowing people to participate um, without governing, or to participate without volunteering, but maybe paying more. Um, and then they need to sort of change their orientation a little bit also so that they're inviting to non-member guests. Candy Cole of the Maker Effect Foundation told me by email that even though this goes against the grain in some ways of the club sort of mentality that the Forge was started with, and that has served it very well, that you have to be flexible and allow others to be flexible in a community organization like this, for each person to develop their own value proposition out of their experience with the organization. And that said, thank you very much for your attention.